So we are currently sailing in Papua New Guinea of all places, on our way up to Indonesia and the Philippines. We'd cleared into the country the day before and have been experiencing a culture like nothing we've ever seen before.
Feels like a whole different world here.
But we felt very safe so far in this particular town. Well, that was before we experienced our first Papua New Guinean electrical storm.
Oh, did you see that? We're seeing strikes all around us right now. It's scary.
So I'm Colin, and this is the crew of Parlay Revival. From hurricane damaged to broken bulkheads and getting struck by lightning not once but twice, to being the strongest and fastest Lagoon 450 on the planet. We've already sailed 25,000 miles to get here, and nothing is going to stop us from circumnavigating the globe. So subscribe to follow our journey around this beautiful planet. 20 years from now, you'll be more disappointed by the things you didn't do than by the things you did. So what are you waiting for?
Pedro!
You! It's your final day.
Last day.
You've done 3,500 miles on Parlay, so I think it's time for you to be captain for the day.
All right.
So you're gonna
That's great.
pick up anchor, sail out to this Rail Island, hang out there, and sail back.
Perfect.
Let's go!
Let's go. All right.
You nervous?
Looks like I know what I'm doing, Brie, but I'm nervous. I cannot screw up now in the last day.
Okay, go for it.
I always stress to the crew that when picking up the anchor, we want the chain to be straight up and down so that we don't put unnecessary strain on the windlass, which Pedro did perfectly. We are surrounded by reefs in this location, and the charts are unbelievably inaccurate here, but it was good to see Pedro's priorities in order.
We off. Beer's cold.
Letting a crew member be the skipper on their last day is something that I do regularly, which I feel makes them either realise just how much they know, or alternatively, how much more they need to learn in order to run their own boat. One thing is to learn and watch Jamie and I sail the boat, but another is to jump in the hot seat and do everything from start to finish on your own. We have had crew come on with absolutely no sailing experience, and nail their day as skipper after only a month at sea, so it's not too hard to get the hang of it when you really want to learn. For Pedro, he had spent not only months on Parlay, but also 8 months on one of our friends' catamarans, so for him, this was a walk in the park. He still had to have his wits about him though, as we had to navigate over some shallow reefs. But what we found on arrival was absolute paradise.
Oh my god, I've just been on a call for the last hour and a half. I've just come outside to this. What is this place?
This is my farewell island.
Are you kidding me? Linda, what is this place? Holy crap, we've just found our own little private island. Are you serious?
If you watched our last episode, you'll remember that we were very much in two minds about coming to Papua New Guinea, as there were several reports of piracy in the country. But we had decided that we would visit two areas of PNG which we felt were safe enough for us to cruise through, and Kavieng was one of them. And man, I'm glad we did, because now we were all alone on one of the prettiest islands I've ever seen, surrounded by beautiful coral and crystal clear waters. Even the dogs were stoked with what we had found. We made a fire and cooked lunch on the grill. In terms of Pedro's last day with us, I can't think of a better send-off than this one right here.
We are dreamers of the shore.
The only thing that would top this was if he caught a fish on the way home, and we thought we had hit the jackpot, but unfortunately one of our deep diving lures ended up getting caught on the reef as we sailed over the shallows.
A way to end your fishing career on Parlay.
Oh, Brie, at least I caught something. Just to hear the sound of the fishing rod going off, like, yeah, I was like, yeah, that's the emotion, that's fishing. Oh, I think I got it. Yeah, all clear.
So Captain Ped got us safely back to the anchorage in one piece and passed his day as skipper with flying colours.
Thank you.
You did good.
We made it
In one piece.
so far.
Shut her down! You want a haircut?
You won't sleep if I don't get it, right?
So Pedro's got to go back to Mexico. He's an owner of a couple of very well-established hostels in Mexico. So we're going to smarten them up, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the before. Let's do the after.
Oh, I love this feeling.
Cut through your barbed wire hair. This is a lot of hair. You're a lucky man. It looks good, man.
Good boy, Linda.
Oh,
All jokes aside, the next morning it was time to say goodbye to Pedro.
Well, it's been like pretty much 79 days that I've been on this boat. 3,500 miles sailing. This is not a boat. This is you guys' home, and then you guys shared with me your home. You guys welcomed me here. Being here with you guys and sharing all this together, it's been very, very, very special. And then I'm very thankful for this. Hope to be back soon.
See you, brother.
Thank you so much.
Be good.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Everything. Thank you.
Be good.
that was the most awful
How are you?
hug.
He was like, he didn't want to hug me, right? Come here, man. Thank you. Gonna miss you, bro. A lot. Come back anytime. Thank you.
Bye, Ped. Thanks for being such an awesome friend, man.
Thank you.
Aww.
Thank you for sharing your place with me.
Anytime.
Really special. Thank you.
Anytime.
Thank you.
You're gonna make me cry. Go ahead.
Bye.
Indonesia, come. Oh.
Bye, Ped.
Ciao. Bye.
I think this is the moment that crew really feel it. Is that when you're getting the dinghy ride or the plane flight out of here is when you realize that you've experienced something quite unique on here. I know the feeling because I had the same feeling in the Tuamotus when my dad lost that boat, and we spent 2 weeks or 3 weeks living with Hervé on this remote atoll, and it was just life-changing, and it was just such a unique experience. And we lived off the land, and I took a boat ride out of that place, and it just hit me like a ton of bricks. Like, you're not going to experience that again for a while, and I know he's feeling that. He's a good guy. Gonna miss him.
So we're in the middle of a lightning storm right now, and it's not pretty. You can hear that, like we're in the middle of this storm at the moment. We've just turned all power off, so we're dead ship at the moment. Probably won't help much, but what else can we do?
This is crazy, man. We're seeing strikes all around us right now. It's scary. This is not fun at all. Ooh. You seeing it? Are you
Hear that?
This is not fun right now.
The wind is it's really still at the moment, so it means the storm is like still just sitting on top of us. We actually think that the resort just got hit. They've lost a lot of lights and they had a big strike come down on top of them, so we're not sure what's happening. There is torches flashing around, but we don't know.
And these strikes are literally all around us right now. What? Oh, did you see that? Did you see that?
Despite having lightning bolts all around us for an hour, we were fortunate enough to come out unscathed. But sadly, the same can't be said for Noosa Island Retreat, which is literally 50 meters away from us.
One of those bungalows right on the water there got zapped, and the whole thing was smoking, and it's ruined a lot of the electrical systems on the whole resort. So Sean's busy with setting up inverters and stuff like that again. So horrible blow, but he's thankful that there wasn't more damage because it was a direct lightning strike. We've been struck twice if you've only just joined us. And even when we got struck, boats around us lost a lot of navigation equipment. So feel a bit bad for Sean. Apparently that's very uncommon for a lightning storm to be that big and hang around for so long.
So how did this happen? Our mast is 76 feet tall, that's 23 meters, as opposed to the bungalow that got struck so close to us, which is barely a third of the height of us. Also, for the previous times we got struck, we were not the tallest mast in the anchorage, so that alone debunks the theory of lightning striking the highest point, and the theory of lightning never striking twice. We used to throw a battery cable into the water, which was connected to our rigging, but the truth of the matter is that lightning consists of millions of volts, so with that much voltage coming down your mast, you're gonna suffer some serious damage no matter what, which doesn't necessarily show up straight away. So we will have to wait and see what the damage is from the lightning strike being so close to the boat. We'll keep you posted, guys.
Alright, while we don't have many crew around, I'm gonna try and get a few boat jobs done. This one we've been procrastinating because fiberglass dust is gonna go all over the boat. But we're gonna set up a fan and blow it that way. And fix this cleat. This one didn't have a backing plate under it. So just over the years, it's just cracked and cracked. All the fiberglass and gel coat. So we just ground out the majority of it in the shipyard, but then we had other priorities there. So now it's time to get onto this one. I epoxied it from underneath already. We did that in the shipyard. So it's got a few layers of biax and epoxy resin on the inside. So now, and that's what that white filler kind of came up those holes there. Pedro left yesterday. Britt's gone home to visit her family in Canada for about 10 days, so she's gone. And then tomorrow a guy called Ryan arrives. So just the three boys. But yeah, let's go.
Alright guys, here we go again with some fiberglass work. As usual, the first step is to get the grinder out. We keep grinding until we get back to good solid glass. Next we mix up some polyester resin, and we went with just under 2% hardener because it's so hot here.
Do you want time-lapse or video?
Time-lapse.
I also make a little bit of filler to fill the little gaps to avoid air bubbles before glassing over the whole area. We use a combination of biaxial glass with chopped mat for adhesion, and we have to work pretty quickly to get it all down before it starts to kick. Everything went perfectly until a massive squall came out of nowhere and left us wondering if all of our hard work had just been ruined.
So we just finished glassing it all, and this random squall just came out of nowhere. Quite a big storm too. We'll see what happens. It was definitely starting to kick, and it kicked in the bucket here. Did not see this coming, eh? Pissing down here. Oh! Shit! Might have got her. She's hard. Might have got lucky there. We'll see, we'll find out. We've got to grind it back down anyway. Need to allow room for gel coat. So we've got to get it just below the original height of the hull.
So the goal before was to just build up the fiberglass. So now we had to grind it perfectly to the shape of the deck to be ready for the gel coat. All we wanted to do at this point was to put some gel coat over the glass to protect it from the sun and rain. And we then moved on to the next project, which was up at the bow.
Okay, while we're at it, we're going to finally do the bow area that ripped up when the spinnaker pulled up on the deck. But what we've done is we've just tied a line from the chain to this aft cleat here, so that the boat sort of spins around and we end up hanging off the bum, and so the wind is going off the bow. That's what we did when we did the initial repair. But this needs some fiberglass. All the bottom's repaired, but we need to put some fiberglass on the top, and then we'll start fairing it, and then do the whole gel coat thing. But yeah, time to grind. That looks a lot worse than it is. All that yellow stuff's epoxy, so we just put epoxy on over it to seal it. We'll just get all that out now so that we can fiberglass it.
So with the boat hanging off the aft cleats and our stern into the wind, plus a fan blowing dust away from me, I started to grind out the epoxy to see what the damage was like. And much like every single fiberglass job ever known to man, there was a lot more damage than meets the eye, and I had to keep grinding and grinding in order to get back to solid glass.
Hey, you know how I said it wasn't as bad as it looked? It is way worse than it looked. Holy shit! Down to the bolster along the hole. It's not really surprising. The whole bow was lifted up. So of course we've got delamination happening all the way across there. Anyway, I've got us back to good glass along the hole join. So let's start glassing. First we'll fill all these holes and then we'll glass the whole thing.
Yep, the repair area was a lot bigger than I thought, but we just cracked on with it while we had a break in the weather. As I mentioned, we had gotten the underside of the deck all repaired and reinforced with epoxy, so I wasn't too worried about the strength with that much glass underneath. But anyway, we glassed the top sides using polyester resin, as the prevailing theory is that gel coat doesn't stick as well to epoxy, but the jury is still out on that one from what I've seen. But we did it by the book anyway.
There you go, not bad at all. What do you think, boys? Not bad? Huh? Oh, yeah. We're a bit rusty, but that is pretty damn good if you ask me. It's been a while. But what you saw me do there at the start was I filled all the little holes and cracks and stuff. So that's the sort of white you can see in behind it there. That's so that we don't get any air bubbles underneath the fiberglass, and they're underneath. It's looking really, really good. Super strong, 3 layers of 1708 Biax. We'll give that a buzz tomorrow, then we'll take you through it. We are not going to worry about the non-skid at this stage, because that is a whole other ball game. As long as it's strong and sealed, that's all that matters for now. Okay, so that fiberglass has cured perfectly. Looks like there's a couple of low spots on it, so we're just going to grind it down just a little bit flatter, take the rough edges off it, and then we'll get the level across and we will see where the low spots are, and then probably do one more glass, and then once we grind that back, we're ready to start fairing it. So good progress.
So after grinding all of the fiberglass back, we used the level to see where all the low spots were. We could then fiberglass those areas because the strength is in the glass, not the gel coat. So we would rather build up the glass than have the gel coat too thick, which can also crack. We were on a roll, so while we waited for that to cure, we got onto another project we had on the go.
So we've got the little high field, which we store on the side of the boat there, and there's no step in it. So when you're jumping on and off it, off the back of the boat or at the dock, you have to kind of really step down into it, and it's a lot harder to get into than the big one here, which has got a step. So Jamie made this guy here, but we're going to put some non-skid on it because it's like a super glossy finish, so it'd be really slippery. So we'll put some sand in it to give it a bit of texture on the top here. No rain in sight, but these little squalls come through and just rain for 5 minutes and then they leave again. So it's been tough trying to navigate that. But let's go. Okay, so when the paint dries, the excess will just fall off. And we'll give it a couple of coats on top. Non-skid, baby. That's all the gel coat we got left. So we went for a mission in town there and went to every hardware store that there is. And there's a lot of them, and nobody sells gel coat, and one place sells grey gel coat. So we've got to figure out what to do here. We've mixed up a little bit of filler hair from the other day, thinking that we'd get some gel coat and just carry on, but not to be. We're going to use what's here to just fill the lower spots on the bow, because that's what we have to look at every day, and then we'll use this just to seal both of them. Just roll it on. Nothing's gonna look pretty, but we can fair it when we get some more gel coat. Let's go.
So we got to work mixing up the filler that we had previously made and used it to do one layer of fairing on the bow area. This just smooths out all of the imperfections in our fiberglass work, which then needs sanding and fairing a few more times in order to get it perfectly flat. While that was curing, we got rid of all the excess sand on our little step and finished off our non-skid. Luckily we were doing this with paint and not gel coat, which we had plenty of. Jamie then went back to sanding our fairing flat, and we used the very last of the gel coat to seal up the whole area and protect it from the sun. Although it doesn't look pretty, this repair is now super strong, pretty well fared, and has a nice layer of gel coat over everything, so I'd say it's not a bad couple of days work. We have a saying here on Parlay, which is, it's not ideal but we'll make it work, which sums us up pretty nicely, I'd say. Thanks for watching, guys. Hit subscribe if you're new here, and we'll see you next Sunday for more adventures sailing around the world.
Taste the scum. My whole mouth is numb.
You can feel it, yeah.
Really dizzy.
Yeah.
Look at his smile.